Hey, what's going on? You're here with Emil and Thomas, and we're just reviewing the mandate for leadership 2025. But we're really doing the pamphlet, just going over by Democratic Ford, I believe. Ford Democratic or Democratic Ford. We're just reviewing their pamphlet on it. Right now, we're looking at the mandate. So the next bullet point was the Bureau of Economic Analysis and Census Bureau, as well as the Department of Labor Bureau of Labor Statistics should be consolidated into a more manageable, focused, and efficient statistical agency. I
Okay.
mean,
That sounds bad at all, but it might have
yeah,
ulterior motives, maybe, maybe not. But it sounds very smart idea. Okay.
yeah.
Well,
So this is the last one that we're going to look at before we get back to the original pamphlet. The International Trade Administration, ITA, and parts of the Bureau of Industry and Security, BIS, should be streamlined and moved to the Office of the U.S. Trade Representatives, USTR, along with the Development Finance Corporation, the U.S. Trade and Development Agency, the Export Import Bank, and other trade related programs spread across the federal government, as well as considering whether many of these programs should exist within the federal government. So they're basically talking about privatizing these departments.
privatizing it or opening them up.
Yeah. Let's get back to our tab. All right. So that had us look at page 664. So number 3, how they'll do it. Manipulate data that businesses rely on to keep our economy functioning by consolidating the Bureau of Economic
The Bureau of
Economic
Economics.
Economic Analysis, Census Bureau, and Bureau of Labor Statistics. Project 2025 would kneecap the data collection capacities of these important agencies, with effects felt by working people across the nation. So this is basically the ability to manipulate data. That's basically what they're saying. You remember how we were talking about how they were going to be consolidating a bunch of the other departments, and uh
Yeah.
that one of the guy, Russ Votes, that's going to be the person doing this. He's going to
Mm,
be the person that we need to keep eye out on.
okay.
So let's move on. Data compiled by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, is intentionally independent from partisan interests and is frequently relied on by the public, employers, researchers, and government organizations. According to BLS, they measure employment compensation, worker safety, productivity, and price movements. This information is used by job seekers, workers, business leaders, and others to help them make sound decisions at work and at home. Project 2025, however, wants to consolidate the U.S. Bureau of Economic uh, Analysis and Census Bureau with BLS into one agency. While formal reorganization requires explicit delegation from Congress to go through, the Trump administration made an attempt in 2018 to bypass Congress and use other executive powers to do so. If an extremist were to occupy the executive branch again, Project 2025 would want them to go even farther. So
Mm.
you get what they're talking about with this BLS and having
I don't know all the organizations, but I can get the premise that yeah, they're trying to consolidate different branches of the government or groups in the government to
yeah,
one place, so
yeah,
they'll have a
specifically they're saying the US Bureau of Economic Analysis and Census Bureau into the BLS.
I mean, we read the Project 2025 mandate. They didn't go that detail and say, okay, after we consolidated, we about to manipulate the numbers. This is all being based on the fact that and there's a possibility that this could happen, but it's being talked about as if it's facts.
Well, what I'm saying is this was published in June 2024, and a lot of what it said has already came to fruition. So I'm not
So
saying,
so we caught them trying to manipulate the BLS or
well,
economic.
one thing I have to say, well, I'm not talking about this one particular thing, and I'm not trying to get us to just focus on this one particular thing. I want us to think about the fact that a lot of what the Project 2025 is outlined, if you listen to a lot of the experts talk, they all would tell you that this is their playbook. You hear what I'm saying? So, and then they're also saying that a lot of this is already happening. Maybe not this one particular thing, but let's not get caught up in this one particular thing, because all we're doing right now is saying that we need to figure this out. And I'm just mentioning those two just because this article said it.
Hmm.
This is the first time I'm looking at it. So don't act like I have so much more information than you. All right.
No, no, I'm not. Again, I brought that up just to point out biases.
I
How
do get what you're saying, but let's just face it. It's like it's a lot of truth in it though. It's no one's gonna like this is a warning, bro. Like this is people warning you. You know what I mean? Like you seen that movie Don't Look Up?
yeah,
Don't look up. Everybody's saying don't look up. It sounds good, and all of a sudden they look up. Oh yeah, we're screwed. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But yeah, let's move to the next page. Politicizing BLS and reducing the data collection capacity of the agency by consolidating it into the Census Bureau would make it harder to know how our economy is doing, whether families' paychecks are growing, and what steps we may need to take to make sure small businesses are thriving and people have enough in their bank accounts to make ends meet. So they're basically, if we go back to the paragraph
Basically,
before,
is that they will alter the numbers of inflation, so you won't see how bad inflation has gotten, and if you're making enough money to keep up with inflation. Basically, what it just said.
yeah. I was also like, this is kind of off topic. This guy who deals with VA compensation, he was basically saying that the actual rate of increase is like 2.5, but the actual rate of inflation is like 7%. And he's basically lobbying for, that change for the most part. So I thought that was interesting.
I mean,
Um,
I feel like inflation might not be as bad as they say it is. I think what's more than likely that's been happening since COVID is price gouging. That that's
is
just
what?
price gouging. Like
What
that's
is
why it seems like if you just look at items, there's no way an increase of inflation of even 7% will cause prices of goods to double or triple in some places.
Well, I mean
It just
that's the COVID made that happen, and then right now you're right, it's a lot of price gouging. All right, so how they'll do it: weaken child labor protection. Project 2025 would amend hazard regulations to allow employers to put young people in unsafe working conditions. The authors of Project 2025 think that young people should be able to work in inherently dangerous jobs in roles that are currently not permitted due to significant safety concerns that have long been established and enforced by the U.S. Department of Labor, DOL. Project 2025 would change DOL policies and allow American youth to work these jobs, meaning young people entering the labor force out of economic necessity could be subjected to more dangerous work because they need the income more than others. and cannot access a safer job or get paid as well. In their
Mm,
own words, hazard order regulations, some young adults show. I'm gonna try to okay, so I'll just hold off for a second. Hazard ordered regulations, some young adults show an interest in inherently dangerous jobs. Current rules forbid many young people, even if their family is running the business, from working in such jobs. These results in worker shortages in dangerous fields and often discourages otherwise interested young workers from trying the more dangerous jobs. 595. Go ahead. What do you got to say about it?
I don't see how that's bad at all. I really don't. Like you saying, they went from saying child to young adult. They use those interchangeably. Which again, I don't know if they're if we gotta go read deeper into that to see which one is they actually referring to. Is it children, like considering 16-year-olds and to like 17-year-olds, or the young adults considered to be 18 to 20-year-olds?
All right. So I'm gonna
But
skip.
either way, anybody who is trained and able and willing to do a job should be able to do it.
So hazard order regulations. Some young adults show an interest in inherently. This is reading from the actual 2025. Showing an interest in inherently dangerous jobs. Current rules forbid many young people, even if their family is running the business, from working in such jobs. This results in worker shortage in dangerous fields and often discourages otherwise interested young workers from trying the more dangerous job. With parental consent and proper training, certain young adults should be allowed to learn and work in more dangerous occupations. This would give a green light to training programs and build skills in teenagers who may want to work in these fields. DOL should amend its hazard order regulation to permit teenage workers access to work in regulated jobs with proper training and parental uh,
Permission.
consent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
I I don't
Workforce.
see I haven't seen nothing wrong with that. You getting properly trained and your parents consented to you to do it, and it prevents us from having a shortage of labor in those areas. And there's a lot of things like that and not just hazardous places. A lot of things are getting like overlooked, like basic trades. We can't even do basic trades because they're not interesting to young people. Most young people are getting prepared to go to college, and then some people are just going into the workforce at 16, going to Walmart and then being at Walmart until they retire. They ain't never even looked for another job. So we're getting a shortage and very important jobs that we definitely need to do because of the dissatisfaction of or disinterest of young people. And like the article has stated, maybe if these jobs were open to other and not limited to who can do them, like like I said, properly trained parent consent, and
All
maybe
right.
it'll
Well, I mean,
fulfill.
my thing is I really can't say that's horrible. But same time, it's like I don't know what like if you're talking about them going and working in like a plant and like a meat plant where you can slice your finger off easy. I don't want no 13-year-old in there. You know what I mean? I don't.
They didn't say nothing. They didn't
I
say
want
nothing
a
about
kid.
13-year-old.
I
They
know,
say
but I'm just saying like there needs to be limits on
they didn't say
on
change
age
they did
requirements.
not
Yeah,
say change
they
the
were being
age of.
vague.
No,
Yeah,
they not.
he's
They
very
didn't say
vague.
change. They didn't say they're gonna change the age limit of when somebody can work. So no 13-year-olds gonna be there. They're gonna be 16 and above. 16 to 17 years old is still close enough to being an adult where they have a sense in their brain. Hey, follow my training so I don't get messed up. Because if you're gonna say, hey, you can't do this at 16 or 17, then you shouldn't be able to do it at 19 or 20 because we've all went through our adolescent phase or young adult phase. You really are still growing and developing even at 20 years old. I don't care if you're seen as a more of an adult or even at 21. You're considered more of an adult because your privileges are granted to you. a 21-year-old could be just as immature as a 17, 16-year-old kid. For all
Oh, maybe even worse sometimes.
exactly. So if you're saying that, hey, you gotta be this age to do the job, with proper training, versus this person with proper training, they're all young dumb kids. They're all young and dumb. So whether
I
it's
mean, just
going,
because they're young and dumb don't mean they need to be taken advantage of.
it's not, it's their parents that's taking advantage of, because they said what parents consent. So if they
Well, yeah,
parent,
you're right. The parents will be taking advantage of them. You know how many times, if you know how many single mothers feel like their child needs to provide their living, even after they're grown and left, they feel like you owe them. You know what I
but
mean?
one thing I know for sure is there's no law forcing a parent to make their kid go to work. You
Well, hey,
know,
hold on. This right here, this is the contents, and what we went over was cut wages, create unsafe places, and destabilize our economy. Next time we're going to be going over make it harder for Americans to make ends meet. That's what we're going to be focused on. So I really appreciate y'all hanging out with us, talking about this. We are going to be talking about a little bit more concepts, but it's going to be more off the cuff. And let's go ahead and get into that. Let's go ahead and stop sharing the screen and boom, stop presenting.
okay,
All right.
I can give you about another good 25 minutes to go into whatever topic you want to do.
Oh man, shoot, we can just wrap it up in 6 minutes. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Because
What can we really talk about in 6 minutes?
well, what I'm saying is we can wrap up what we read and kind of
Oh,
have like your final words on your feelings, and then we can plan for the next meeting. That's what we can
okay.
do.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's what we're saying.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you I'm gonna let you start, and then I'm gonna have like really last words, and if you have anything to piggyback off of, you can go. We can do it like that.
All right. So do you want to just like over just look back on one of the topics we just talked about, a specific topic that we
Oh, what we
didn't?
read all this whole day. Just whatever you feel about like which ones hit you the hardest, which you feel like I know you keep saying like you think everything's bad, da, da, da. And I'm like, I don't feel like everything's bad. I just know that I don't know what piece of meat is bad, and I don't want to eat none of it.
Yeah, you're saying shoot, in a room full of snakes, you don't know which one's poisonous, so you're just gonna avoid the room.
Yeah, that's it. And I don't know. It's like you say it's all good, and then I get comfortable and I start feeling like it's okay, and all of a sudden I'm the mark, and I rather not because I just know when it comes down to it, I rather give people stuff. I rather show love. I rather I rather forgive you, but then if you bite me, then at that point it's like, dang, bro. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean, mm, for the most part, I I haven't really changed my opinion based on what we have gone over today. I really just say it's a wait and see game. Yeah, we could wait too long and then it'd be too late. Or we could just be using all our energy fighting something that may or may not happen or may not be bad for us. So if we're gonna sit here and say we need to protest every little thing that's in Project 2025, and it's like, but some things might need to get done. Like the president, dude, still got a job to do, and I don't think there's ever been a president who was really evil or out to get the American people, except for Bush. Um, other than that, so
I
you
feel
got you
better.
got to.
You already know I feel better about Bush than I do this man.
Oh no, Bush started wars. He got
Yeah,
people
at the same
killed.
time, I understood where you come from. They came for that man daddy now. You know what I mean?
This man let his brother off of killing somebody, and then made him a governor of Florida. This nigga Bush did a whole bunch of Bush.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I understood where he came from, though. That's you know what I mean? Like, I understand, like, okay, and then he had tack about him. He really wasn't the smartest, president we ever had, but he said some real ignorant stuff. But man, he got us some crazy memes. What did he say? If you fool me once,
Fool me
Shame
can't
on
get
you.
fool me can't get fooled again.
Like, how do you mess up that one? You know what I mean? Like, that was crazy to me.
Yeah,
But
but until Donald Trump start having scandals like that, and I'm not just talking about scandals that are political, as in he did some tax evasion, mortgage fraud, Elon Musk got a new grant. Give me some real scandal. Oh, he let that murderer out. Oh,
oh, he did. He did.
oh,
Well,
he
you
did.
know, all them people from January 6th, he let off.
Okay, okay. Not all of them were murderers. I think one dude was badly injured, and a couple people did get trampled over and
If
died.
you beat up a police officer, you gonna see light of day?
No, but
Okay, what are we talking about?
but any but that I don't think that nigga died. I don't. The police officer was just badly injured. He
I
was
mean,
just ran through.
I get what you're trying to say, but just this the whole concept behind
Yeah, him being
them
biased
putting hands on federal police officers, and
and getting out.
like
But
what he did. I ain't gonna lie. Like if I didn't have no morals, oh man, he bought loyalty. Ride with me, bro. I get you off. That's what he said. I get you off. Beat someone up.
yeah,
I got you, bro.
I ain't never gonna agree with everything a nigga do. Because a person's only human, they ain't never gonna be
Yeah.
God. And so like I always say, I just play devil's advocate. But in situations like this, yeah, he probably shouldn't have done it. But I'm gonna sit here and be like, yeah, shoot, if I had the authority and some niggas was rocking with me and they got cut up when my ops was in power, but I'm in power now, I'm gonna get my boys out. Shit. I mean, well, I don't think he should have done that as a leader, but I can understand someone like me or you doing that shit.
Well, I'm
But
just saying, like, when it comes down to it, he's gonna be like, he's the type person. Do you remember that he asked the commanding officer of the military to shoot at protesters? Are you aware that he had that in like 2019 that he literally asked if he can shoot, if they can shoot at them, and the dude said no, that's illegal.
no, I don't recall that period. But again, ain't nobody perfect. I'm not looking for somebody to be perfect. I just want to weigh the pros and the cons, and that's what we're doing, weighing the pros and the cons to see is this person really benefiting us or hurting us. But I know you gonna believe that you just don't roll with snakes because, but and from my perspective, everybody motherfucking snake. So especially in politics, so. I need to see what goods they is gonna give me instead of worry about how much they fucking me because I figured President Biden fucked the shit out of us, and he didn't do no good.
You mind not cussing so much because I don't need to have to beep you. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
much.
yeah. But yeah, so I don't believe that President Biden did enough. I don't believe President Biden was running the country. I don't believe that any decision was made executively came from Joe Biden's thought process himself. So a lot of things that happened really messed us all over, and nobody really said or did anything about it until it was coming closer to the election, and then now they're trying to clean up the mess really fast and hope you forgot all the crazy stuff that happened during 2022 and 2021 mainly. But I sit there and just keep an open mind when it comes to anybody because I don't trust any politician, especially when I know they can be bought. I know they their opinions can
Yeah,
be
they can't
based
be
on,
bought.
and so let's not worry about how if they're going to mess us over when everybody's doing it already. We are the
Oh
grunts.
no,
We're the
man. I just feel like you feel like you just giving up. That's what it sounds like, man.
No, no, no. I'm just focusing my energy on looking towards positive things and then having reserve energy. So if something does necessarily really bad comes up, I'd be like, hey, no, we can all just look at this problem right here. They really messed up right here. And instead of focus on every little time somebody messes up, it's like you getting on your girl every time she get on your nerves. No, sometimes you're just gonna let that ride. But when she really got out of pocket, hey, you gonna step up and say something then because that was really out of pocket. But to have a functioning relationship at any level, you cannot nitpick everything somebody does. And so while we worry about everything that President Trump is doing that is negative, we need to be doing the exact same thing if we're going to do it. as well as positive, because that leaves you one exhausted. You're mentally exhausted from looking at negative stuff all the time, and not only are you negative exhausted, you can't even see what actually good is being presented in front of you, and because you're so like, oh, but all this bad stuff didn't happen. Again, I bring back to relationships. I can't sit here and be like, oh, I can't notice that my wife is trying to rub my feet, cook my dinner because she made all these mistakes this week. But hey, instead of me focusing on all these mistakes she made this week, let me just enjoy the fact that she's actually still like attempting to do something positive. That's all I get at.
I mean, I hear you. I'm just, I guess what I'm saying is I just know that things don't get better unless we do something. And when you deal with this kind of evil, these people with all this money and the corruption, I feel like America's no better than Russia. And Russia at one point was a free place, and then they let someone like Putin, who allowed someone else to take and like to be prime minister, and took over, and then he's willing to kill whatever opposition that comes his way. I think his name is Alexander something, starts with a P, last name. But when you think about those kind of people who are willing to kill the opposition like that and willing to bend the law, they're already talking about him running a third term. They're already talking about it, and then silly people are talking about that's not constitutional, and it's like, well, y'all don't know that there have been presidents in the past that have.
Yeah, most definitely. It's
And
been, it's
three.
been. I think there, FDR had 3 terms and
Mm-hmm.
was going up for a fourth.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody want to talk about dictatorship, that look kind of dictatorship over there. But obviously, we put in the amendment that allows limits it to 2 terms,
Yeah.
which
If you create a crisis, then he can probably do the third, and it'll be some kind of martial law or
of
some
course
kind of, yeah.
it's always like that, and that's exactly how FDR ended up having 3 terms in the first place because we was going through World War II, I believe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, it could always be fabricated on things like martial law to take over or just to keep powers into people's hands. That ain't never been out of the question, you know. But I feel like you if it's being talked about publicly, I don't think that's what we need to worry about. I need to be worried about what they're not showing us. It's like you don't be worried about the guy your girl is bringing around. Worry about the guy she not showing you if you think your girl is cheap. That's the same thing concept I'm bringing to this scenario. If it's being blasted in the public news,
No, man,
that
that's not necessarily, because if that's true, if the person has shame. If your old lady cheating on you, she got shame, you right. But if she ain't got no shame, it's gonna be your homeboy, it's gonna be your brother, it's gonna be your cousin, it's gonna be your daddy, it's gonna be that dude in that caddy, it's gonna be, you know what I mean? Like, if she ain't got no tact, but if she got tact, it's gonna be a stranger.
Yeah, but I just it's just an scenario. I feel like a lot of things that get blasted in the media, it's either propaganda or it's used to distract the American people because there has been plenty of times proven that hey, while y'all are focused on these wildfires, this is what they're doing in Congress right now because every social media and media platform was only talking about California's wildfires and how Los Angeles was on fire for like 6 days or 2 weeks or something like that. It was just on fire. Everybody focus on that
You
instead
know, you
of
know, you know, I went down there to watch that too, right?
oh really?
Yeah, yeah. I flew out there, and I seen a couple of them. Flew my drone out there for travel lovers. Anybody want to see it? Go ahead, go to travel lovers if you want to see the California fires.
But yeah, that's all I'm saying. It's like a lot of things are used for shock value. Like, oh my God, look at this. Oh, did they
Well,
just say that?
I guess what I'm saying is you're not talking to that person who does that. I watch those hearings. I sit at the city halls. I sit at board meetings, and you know what I'm saying, I'm willing to listen to others talk about whatever going on. So I mean, I do get what you're saying, but like that short form stuff is what I'm saying is what we need to separate, that can separate us, because short form is good to introduce some things, some ideas, but short form leaves out the fact that before Al Green was kicked out of that hall, President Trump was doing this and yelling and calling them all everything out of the book. It's not talking about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Short form could definitely lead to biases. Short forms could definitely hide different things that don't want to be shown. But I also believe it works opposite too. Like there's a lot of short form clips that I've seen of Donald Trump that it was just made to make it seem like he's a super villain. But when you actually broke it down, what he said in its entirety of its context, you realize they were just making that clip say what they needed to get the shock value. So you gotta, like you said, short form content should lead you into a bigger discussion. But if you're already biased by the short form content, you will go looking for something that proves your argument.
Well, if anything, I'm just saying it's kind of like watching the whole meeting without anyone talking and picking up what you can pick up from it. A lot of times is good if what the people are saying are being truthful. If
Yeah.
you're watching meetings and everyone in the meeting is part of a show, and they know that everything we're talking about is a lie, and everything that we need you to do is part of the show, that means that it's an act and you don't know what's really going on. You know what I mean? And so I don't know, man. Because
But
when I
it's
watch
definitely
Fox make you feel like the world is perfect. You be like, oh man. But
that's why
then,
Fox, CNN has been dubbed fake news for the
but you know,
last
you know that
8 years.
he's been suing those people. He's sued ABC and
Yeah.
NBC.
Yes, of course, I would too.
But
If you're
freedom of
putting
the
out,
press.
no, it's not freedom of the press when those stations are owned by the DNC. So if they're owned by your competitors and your competitors can go out there and say whatever they want about you, and then they can put it on different news posts or from CNN, Fox, ABC, all these different brands of media or news, because they're all owned by the same conglomerate, then it makes it seem like it's more likely or it's more true when it's just slander.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I guess what I'm saying is I feel like it's kind of jacked up to have such feral feelings why you can throw mud and dirt and say that I'm a criminal, lock up Nancy Pelosi, she's a criminal, Dr. Fauci, he's a criminal, Biden, he's a criminal, Biden's son is a criminal, and
I mean, as long
Obama
as
is
it,
not
it
not American. You can have all of these negative things about people, but as soon as you say one negative thing about Trump or Elon, it's like everyone comes to their defense and act like it's a tragedy why these people are ending whole lives.
I mean, it really necessarily comes down to whether it is true or not. Nancy Pelosi, she definitely is a criminal, and she's about to get indicted because if you just follow the paper trail, you would see how this lady been doing inside trader, tax evasion, like that. So saying she a criminal is
So
not slander
so
if it's true.
so what I'm saying is when you talk about insider trading and tax evasion, granted those are crimes, but that's not worth calling and vilifying her and saying she's a horrible criminal that kills babies and slaughtering and robbing from the poor. You know what I mean? You make it seem like she's out here like Captain Hook or something. You know what I
Hey,
mean? Get
I
the
mean,
Pelosi, she's beheading people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you saying? Like, I
hey,
mean, I get that,
I can't
insider
confirm.
trading, bro. Like, I get the insider trading is like a horrible thing, but that's kind of like you giving me a good tip on something, and you just happen to be the company head, you know what I'm saying? It's like I took advantage of it. Yeah, I knew something. You know
I
what I mean?
mean, but see how you gave you because I could say the same thing in reverse about Donald Trump. Oh yeah, he a felon, but his felonies are what, mortgage fraud,
Oh no, no, he
and
got more than that. He got more than that. This,
insurrection, um, and like just a bunch of stuff that like is not killing babies. But they, if you ask somebody about Donald Trump, they be like, oh, he be killing babies.
well, I mean, I ain't say he be killing babies, but I'm
No, but
telling
if
you,
you see the way people
yeah.
are so
Well, people
hysterical
are
about,
saying that because they're scared of a dictator because we've never had a king in as a president, and right now we have a king as a president.
Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. So let's I
That
mean
Ronald Reagan came
so
into
yeah,
office
hey,
and
real quick. So let's look at these felonies. So invoice from Michael Cohen marked as record of the uh Donald J. Trump revocable trust. Okay. You know what? This one I'm gonna do.
we're
I'm
gonna
a
have to say that for another time.
yeah, yeah. What I'm gonna do is I'm a copy and then I'm gonna put it in my co-pilot and say what kind of crimes are these. What do you want to know about this data as far as
Uh,
his criminal record?
actually, I just want to put a cap on it because right now I'm on my break. I'm trying to go eat.
All right, my
It,
boy.
yeah, so we definitely put this in the notes to come back to this on the next meeting.
Yeah, when would you like to reconvene?
It could be whenever, honestly. Probably sometime tomorrow around the same time.
Okay, I got time. All I'm trying to do, man, I'm trying to be like you and try to get to this bag. So, I'm just doing a lot of video editing and getting four travel lovers up and just trying to get that thing monetized. It's going through the process of being getting rejected. They never want to pay you.
Yeah. So did you make you making a new channel for this type of content, huh?
Yeah, of course. I'm not gonna put politics in some travel. That's too much.
Yeah,
That's
there it is.
gonna disinterest people. And then on top of that,
It
you
doesn't
know,
focus your
yeah,
channel.
I got like 7 channels. Actually, I mean, they really ain't getting too much traction, but that's one reason I'm trying to, like with the video. This is, I'm working on more stuff like this and interviewing people, which I just started interviewing people. So I feel like doing that may help a little bit, and after a while, 10 years in the game, I'm gonna be something.
Hold on.
This song I've
Oh,
been
y'all
messing.
got as far as size go. Not as far as the size go. Y'all got some deviled eggs. What else y'all have? Uh, okay, bet. Yeah, you can continue.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on. So I basically put in the co-pilot. What kind of crimes are these? These charges are related to falsifying business records in the first degree, a violation of New York Penal Law, subsection 175.10. The indictment accuses Donald J. Trump of intentionally making false entries in business records to defraud and to conceal the commission of another crime. Each count corresponds to specific instances where invoices, ledger entries, or checks were allegedly manipulated or misrepresented financial transactions.
Fraud, fraud.
The broader context often ties these charges to allegations of hush money payments made to silence potentially damaging information during the 2016 presidential campaign. The falsification of records was reportedly used to disguise the nature of these payments and their Purpose. Let me know. Okay, yeah, that's mainly it.
Yeah,
So
bro. They sound about bro.
yeah, yeah,
This
this about right.
um, but
Yeah. Hey, so what time is gonna work for you? Let me go ahead. Yeah, yeah, what time's gonna work?
I mean, we could probably do the same time. Pretty much.
All right.
Every day. Because that's usually once I got all my shit together, whether that's booking loads, dropping off loads, getting lunch, and then driving for the rest of the night type situation.
Yeah.
Um, if
So
I
we're
can't,
looking at this pamphlet. It has one, two, three, four, five, six, seven sections. We've only did one, so that's six sections. So that this will be just 1 week.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't mind doing 1 week of just going over it, and then what I'm saying. Yeah. Hey, I'll see you tomorrow at 6.
All right, that's a bit.
All right, my boy. Peace.
All right, talk to you in a minute.
All right, all right. So we're gonna continue tomorrow. Again, we're going to be looking at, let's go ahead and share. Yeah. We're going to be looking at make it harder for Americans to make ends meet. That's going to be this section we're going to be looking at. Why are we going to be looking at it? We are going to be doing some deep diving. So, and after that, the next day we're going to be doing reproductive rights and access to healthcare. The next day, enable discrimination across society. The next day, set polluters loose and undo climate action. The next day, make education unaffordable and unwelcoming. The next day, undermine government's ability to deliver for people. All right. I hope y'all stay blessed, stay informed. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Let me know what you're thinking and what you like to talk about. If you would like to come and be a part of the discussion, let me know that too. Just ask under the comments or hit me or send me a message on IG e.millions.williams or um, Food for Democracy. So Food for Democracy or e.millions.williams on IG. If you hit me on if you contact me on one of those two, that'll be greatly appreciated if you want to be involved into this meeting. All right.